Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I want to discuss a rather serious topic, so I kindly ask that you ensure children are not around or consider putting on your headphones. We're going to delve into the story of a criminal who stands out in a unique way. This is a story that deeply affected people around the world. Reinhard Sinaga, born on February 19th, 1983, hailed from Indonesia and was the eldest among his siblings. He came from a devout Christian family with strong religious values. Sinaga's father held a prominent position as a banker and was respected as a successful businessman. Alongside his banking career, he managed a thriving business in palm oil. While this information might seem unrelated, it provides context to Sinaga's background. In any case, Sinaga was a person who loved his studies as a student and obtained an architecture degree from the College of Engineering in Indonesia. Sinaga graduated from the College of Engineering in 2006 and then decided to travel to Britain to complete his education there, specifically to the city of Manchester. I do not know why crime spread in Manchester. It seems that I will no longer support Manchester United. The important thing is that in August 2007, Sinaga traveled to the city of Manchester, and his father sent him a lot of money every month. This money met all of Sinaga's needs and more. In fact, he was a spoiled boy who got everything he wanted. In 2009, Sinaga obtained a master's degree in planning and architecture. He also obtained a master's degree in sociology in 2011. It seems that he is very diligent in his studies. It also seems that Sinaga loved the city of Manchester and decided to continue his life there. Sinaga was not interested in anything, and he did not have any financial problems. His father was a wealthy man and a businessman. Once he asked his father to allow him to travel and complete his doctoral studies in Britain, he agreed immediately and did not express any objection. As soon as Sinaga learned that his monthly allowance would not be cut off, he went to rent an apartment on a street known as Princess Street. Of course, I do not own this street, but it is a well-known street in the city of Manchester and full of nightclubs and bar. Sinaga had homosexual tendencies, was gay, and was known to have more than one boyfriend. One day, specifically in 2015, the evil side of Sinaga appeared and began hunting its victims. The crazy Sinaga used to stand at nightclubs and bars looking for his victims among drunken men. He would catch only the men at the bar and invite them with him to his nearby apartment. Whoever went with him to his apartment would offer him his favorite drink. He would put the drug GHB inside the drinks. In fact, it was the drink intended for the victims. GTB is a substance with narcotic properties that doctors use for anesthesia. Its effect was very strong. I advise you never to use it. The important thing is that Sinaga put the substance in the drink for the victim, and when she lost consciousness, he raped him, and sometimes raped him more than once in a while. One night, no problem with that? Well, we have often heard about traditional rapists who commit this same heinous act. But what was most horrific was that all of Sinaga's victims were men between their teens and early 20s. He did not like old men, and he selected his victims very carefully. As I told you, he would wait for his victims at nightclubs and invite them to come with him to his house under the pretext of offering them help. And that they should rest a little because, as he described them, they were exhausted from the abundance of alcoholic drinks. After giving them drinks, he would rape them, photograph them, and sometimes publish videos on the internet. Sinaga's latest victim was a rugby football player, and as you know, rugby players have great physical strength, and while Sinaga was raping the victim, the man woke up early from the drug. He grabbed Sinaga and beat him to the point of almost killing him. He called the police, and the police arrived to find Sinaga lying on the ground covered in blood. It seemed that this scene had been shown to them in some way because they had pity for him, while they did not yet know that inside this little person was a real monster. So the police, who sympathized with him by taking him to the hospital, and on the other hand, began searching Sinaga's apartment. They found that he had many mobile devices and alcoholic drinks of all kinds. Of course, he loved to honor his guests. Sure enough, they found on him the drug GBH, which he used to anesthetize the victims. The police went to the hospital with Sinaga's phone and asked him to unlock the phone and write the password. Sinaga became tense, and began to show signs of anxiety and tension. He was intentionally entering the password incorrectly, making excuses that he was still under the effects of the assault and that he had lost focus. But it seemed that he was a real idiot and believed that the police might play such stupid tricks on them. He did not know that the police did not. They needed him to do this, and what the police found was truly shocking. On terabytes of rape videos, they found many victims of this crazy animal, because many of their personal cards and mobile phones were kept by Sinaga as souvenirs. I don't know what these strange memories are. Perhaps it would have been better for him to collect stamps or old coins. Perhaps one of you may ask, how did Sinaga rape the victims and take their cards and phones while they did not know? It's amazing what I've read about GBH which Sinaga was using. This drug causes partial memory loss. I believe that this matter helped Sinaga a lot in his crimes. During the course of 2.5 years, Sinaga raped a huge number of men, and what the police discovered was that Sinaga had committed these crimes even before he arrived in Britain. The first crime committed by that idiot was on New Year's Eve 2015, and the victim was a bisexual man. As for the last crime, he was the rugby player who did not do the right thing with Sinaga, and after the investigations by the police and detectives were completed and all the evidence was collected, 4 trials were held for the criminal Sinaga between July 1st and 10th of the year 2018. The case included 48 victims who were believed to be just apart. Of the total 206 victims who were raped, all of this number occurred in just 2.5 years. Surprisingly, Sinaga did not choose gay men. Rather, most of his victims were of normal sexual orientation, with the exception of only 3 victims who were gay. As for the first victims, they justified their going with Sinaga to his apartment by saying that they were in dire need of help and comfort, and that Sinaga's appearance did not appear to pose any danger, and that inside him lived a brutal criminal. Rather, he was cultured and polite, and even his physical structure could not worry anyone. It is said that some of the victims woke up. During the rape, they were under the influence of the drug. Rather, when daylight came, they would bid farewell to Sinaga and reward him for his good generosity with them. Sinaga was officially convicted of 136 counts of rape, 14 counts of sexual assault, and charges of attempted rape. The criminal defended himself and justified his actions by saying that it was consensual and that they were just pre-agreed sex games. Of course, no one believed the words of this lunatic because the victims during their rape were snoring while they fell into a deep sleep. The criminal was publishing some videos on the internet of the victims and writing a comment on them. He had a message in life, and his message was that he wanted to transform all normal men in the world. To gays, and he will save them from their bad friends, it appears that Sinaga had a problem with both men and women. He was so lowly that he found pleasure in raping sexually normal men. Sinaga was sentenced to aggravated imprisonment for 88 years, with no possibility of requesting early release. 30 years ago, and on December 11, 2020, the judiciary increased the period to 40 years before he was entitled to request release. Early, it seems that he also did something shameful inside the prison. One of the most important results that resulted from the Sinaga case was that the drug GH was officially considered a type of drug, and its circulation was prohibited for any non-medical purposes. In fact, this was not the first case of the use of this drug in rape cases, but it did not reach such a large number of victims, and with this degree of heinousness, Sinaga shocked the entire society in his home country, Indonesia, as well as in Britain, to the point that his father said, "My son is guilty and deserves to be punished." As for Sinaga's poor mother, she could not believe what her son had done and said in great shock, "How could my son become gay? We are a committed Christian family." As for the judge who sentenced him to prison, she said, "Sinaga is a real and great danger to society, and that it is the largest rape case known to Britain and one of the biggest cases in the world." No one knows the reason for what Sinaga did. What was he missing? I expect that he did this shameful act because he was not really missing anything. It seems that excessive pampering corrupts morals. When children become spoiled and all their desires are met and all their requests are answered, we will find them doing things that may not occur to the mind. End of the story. Pay attention to your children and stop pampering them excessively. Let them feel responsible and create goals and morals in them.